Hello and welcome to another retrospective video of an iconic adventure game. With this video we return to LucasArts franchises as we will cover the magnificent Sam & Max games. This is considered a franchise today since we saw the evolution of the series from pure point-and-click games to that hybrid episodic narration-heavy format of Telltale games. Since we cover adventure games in this series of videos, the focus will be on Sam & Max Hit the Road and its attempted sequels and not on the Telltale Sam & Max series. The game was based on two comic book characters, Sam, an anthropomorphic dog, and Max, a rabbit with a weird personality created by Steve Purcell, a comic book artist who was also working at LucasArts during the 90s. The game was unique in its humor and portrayal of Americana and is considered today a classic point-and-click game from the golden age of the genre. Sam & Max Hit the Road is a graphic adventure video game released by LucasArts initially for the MS-DOS in 1993 and later ported to macOS and then re-released for the Windows. The plot follows Sam and Max, two private investigators who call themselves the Freelance Police and receive their missions from an unseen character called the Commissioner. When they return from the latest solved case in which they forgot to untie the girl, they receive a phone call from the Commissioner who asks them to visit immediately a nearby carnival. As the duo arrives on the scene, they are informed by the owners, the Kuzman brothers, that their main attraction, the frozen Bigfoot Bruno, had been mysteriously thawed and escaped, taking with him another key attraction of the carnival, the giraffe-necked girl Trixie. The Freelance Police must travel across America to unravel the mystery and track down Bruno and Trixie. They will have to visit several tourist traps along the way to find clues and leads about the case. Sam & Max Hit the Road is, at its core, a puzzle-solving point-and-click adventure game that plays from a third-person perspective. The player controls Sam and can direct him to interact with the environment, objects, and other characters. This is done with the use of the mouse cursor that can change in shape depending on the action the player wants Sam to take. The options include an eye that opens when passing over an item or character that you can interact with, a fist that closes when it passes over something that can be picked up or used, etc. There is also a Max icon. When used, Sam sends Max to interact with that item, character or the environment with an often comedic result. However, Max, being the hyperkinetic rabbit that he is, often resolves to violence when used over a character, so caution is advised even though the game follows the LucasArts Code of Adventure Game Conduct and has no dead ends or character deaths that require loading a saved state. Conversations are not represented in a dialogue tree form like in other LucasArts games but present a number of icon-based topics at the bottom of the screen which Sam can choose from. There are some generic ones like a question mark or an exclamation mark, but the rest are mostly conversation and character specific. The inventory is represented by a box icon at the lower part of the screen which when clicked opens up showing the available items in icon form. Each item can then be picked up and drag and drop to the environment, other objects or characters. There is also a number of available minigames that range from driving sequences to games like Whack-A-Mole. Some of those minigames are entirely optional, while others are required to progress the story or receive crucial items. Traveling through the locations of the game is done with the use of a map of the whole United States where areas of interest are represented by icons which the player can click on to let the characters drive their Black DeSoto adventurer to that destination. As the game progresses, the number of locations on the map increases. Even though the game utilizes the iconic LucasArts SCAM engine, the ninth game to do so, the version in Sam & Max Hit the Road is a modified one that allows for full-screen gameplay and icon-based interface. It also utilizes the iMuse audio system. iMuse, developed in-house at LucasArts, allowed the composers to synchronize music with the visual action of the game so that the audio continuously matches the on-screen events. The transition from one musical theme to another is done seamlessly, which is particularly important in Sam & Max Hit the Road as the game uses a variety of jazz musical scores. The development of the game began in 1992. Steve Purcell, who had created the Sam & Max characters for his own comic book series, was hired by LucasArts because his artwork and visual style had caught the eye of the company's art director Gary Winnick. Upon joining the company, Purcell collaborated in a number of projects like the animation in Indiana Jones and the Fate of Atlantis and the cover art of Zak McKracken and the Alien Mindbenders. He also assisted the programmers of the company by designing some Sam & Max character animations and backdrops in order for the programmers to utilize them in their SCAM engine practice. That, along with the success of the Sam & Max comic strips that were published in the company's newsletter, led to LucasArts deciding to develop a cartoon adventure game based on the franchise. The team behind the development of Sam & Max Hit the Road was a relatively small one, but other than Steve Purcell included some experienced members of the company like Sean Clark and Michael Stemmel. The development ran for about 8 months, a short time for that period, which led the team to utilize methods for improving their efficiency. Storyboarding was used to streamline development along with the improved SCAM engine that allowed for full-screen gameplay and icon-based interface. As Steve Purcell had stated, the full-screen gameplay allowed to expand on the excellent backgrounds and also made interaction much quicker and less laborious than LucasArts' previous adventure games. Even though the art direction was cartoon-based, the game utilized a lot of mature themes and an overall adult theme that, according to Purcell, was not heavily modified by LucasArts. He was pleased that the final version was very close to his vision of the game. The game was released initially in a floppy version and in a CD-ROM one that included full speech support and music in every scene. Sam & Max Hit the Road was received positively by fans and critics upon its release. It was praised for its humor, voice acting, graphics, music and gameplay, and was also a commercial success. However, in the years that followed, other projects had a higher priority inside LucasArts and no sequel was planned. An attempt to produce a sequel began in 2001 with the title Sam & Max Plunge Through Space. It was supposed to be an Xbox exclusive developed by Infinite Machine, a studio formed by ex-members of LucasArts who left the company when the decline in adventure game popularity led to the decision to stop development of adventure games. Steve Purcell was developing the story along with a few members of the original team. However, a year later the studio went belly up and the plans were dropped. In 2002, LucasArts announced the production of a PC sequel with the title Sam & Max Freelance Police that would have been a traditional point-and-click adventure game but with 3D graphics. The project was helmed by Michael Stemmel, who was part of the original team. Steve Purcell was contributing to the game by writing the story and producing concept art. An official trailer was also revealed showing the updated 3D graphics that were supposed to take the beloved franchise into the new era of PC gaming. 2 years later, however, the company announced that the game was cancelled because of current marketplace realities and underlying economic considerations, as they had stated. Several fans tried to change the mind of LucasArts, and even a petition with 32,000 signatures was presented to them, which the company took under careful consideration, but to no avail. The Sam & Max license expired in 2005 and the rights were acquired by Telltale Games, another company formed by ex-LucasArts members. Telltale developed a number of games in the series following their episodic format with story-driven settings and less use of puzzles. That was the full history of Sam & Max Hit the Road, a pure gem of the adventure game genre. The game is excellently crafted, especially if you do not mind its twisted humor and over-the-top cartoon characters. It is considered today a classic among point-and-click adventure games and is included in numerous lists of the greatest games of all time. Do not forget to watch my many retrospectives on iconic franchises like Loom, King's Quest, Space Quest, Gabriel Knight and more. You can also find my 2-hour documentary on the rise and fall of the genre. If you like the content of my channel, please consider supporting it by subscribing and turning on the notifications for it to know when a new video is up. You can also consider supporting me by becoming a member of my YouTube channel. There is one membership tier and you will have a lot of benefits like exclusive updates on upcoming videos, you get to watch each new video earlier, you get to decide the topic of upcoming videos, and also member exclusive giveaways that will follow. We will have the next adventure game video soon. Thank you all for watching.